Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Welcome to our Pacific Animal Conservation Program. And with us, our guest this evening is none other than the Pacific's leading animal conservationist. His name, of course, is Sam Salaya. Sam, welcome. It's a privilege and a pleasure to have you on our program tonight.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. What's your name again?
Tom.
John. Thank you very much, John, for this amazing opportunity to be on your program. I admit I always watch your program sometimes, and just being here in front of this live audience is like being here in person. Thank you very much for that one, Jerry.
Well, I guess not many of our audience realize that you are actually descended from a long line of ancestors who were involved in the conservation of animals. In fact, some of your ancestors even named some of the animals as we know them to this day. Could you please tell us about some of those ancestors of yours and about how they came to name some of the animals as we know them to this day?
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. It's a great honor for me not only to be able to elaborate more on my ancestors, but also my aunt brothers. You are right, as a matter of fact. Correct me if I'm right. I do come from a long line of many famous and well-known animal activists who have named many of the animals that we still consume today.
We conserve.
Yes, that's what they usually, you conserve it to them and then they consume it after that. But anyway, instead of beating around those places, a good example is one of my great uncles. One day, he was fishing in the ocean because you can't do it in the jungle. And as he was fishing out one day, he noticed this humongous fish was coming out of the water. My uncle can't believe it. His eyes can't believe it. So he wanted to have a closer look to that. So he walked in closer. The second time, this was just after the first. The fish was come back out of the water, a gigantic fish. My uncle can't believe it. His eyes can't believe it. Because his eyes look like this. But he still wanted to have a closer look at this fish. So he walked up to the fish. He thought he saw 3 fish. The third time, this was the third time. The third time the fish was coming out, this is where he named the fish. The fish came out, my uncle said in Samoan, he said, "Orca!" And that is where the killer whale got its Samoan name, the orca.
Now, for non-Samoan speakers, we have to explain that the word orca in Samoan, I guess one of the meanings of the word orca in English would be something, the equivalent would be something like, "Oh my golly gosh!"
And that is where the misinterpretation was coming in.
Oh.
My uncle did not mean, orca, so oh my Charlie Josh, no. My uncle meant orca in English. That's about 3 months raw fish, man. Another example, the brother to that uncle of mine, to me personally, he's like an uncle as well. He was also in the ocean doing the washing. So he was doing the washing.
Are you sure he was an uncle?
not during the day. He was doing the washing inside the ocean. He was doing the washing inside the ocean. Then he saw that there was a fin swimming nearby him. Nearby him. The fin was going under the water. He saw nothing. The fin was coming back up. He saw something. It got so closer to him, he thought, hey, there could be anything. So he was doing the washing and the fin was getting closer, and he was doing the washing and the fin was getting closer. This is where they said was the birth of the Cook Island dance was born from. That's why you see them here. So what was happening was, as he was doing the washing, the fin was got so close to him, he started to panic. He panicked so much, he just jumped up and said, shucks! And that is where the sharks was born.
The shark.
In Australia, it's shark. In New Zealand, it's sharks. Yeah. That same uncle of mine, he noticed something was nipple at his toes. Nipple at his toes. So he reached down and he grabbed it. That is where the crab was born. When he knew that he had something very special, all the village people wanted him to come to bring it to them. He said no, he kept it to himself. You know what he was doing? He was being selfish. Then when he knew he had something very unique, he stood up on the rock and he said to everybody, I got the power. And then he fell down and he drowned.
Now, the one story that you do have to tell us before the program finishes is a story about how you discovered what was long thought to be the extinct golden parrot of Asia. Sam, please tell us, how did you discover what was long thought to be the extinct golden parrot of Asia?
Well, Isaac, you know, this subject is a very emotional topic for me. Why, you may ask? The reason why is because I have devoted 7 years of my life into research this golden parrot. I have worked in collaboration with other animal activists, with other scientists, other researchers to try and find this one animal. We have all worked in together to try and investigate the phenotyping of what can computerize the intercongratulation to bring the impress.
I'm sorry, Sam. If you could use plain English that I and the audience can understand, we would really appreciate that very much.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget how many degrees I have. You know, my wife said to me this morning, hey, you look so hot. You know, I said, hey, I got too much degrees. To keep a long story longer, I remember sitting at my house, and to me it's like my own place. I had the telephone ring. It was my next door neighbor's telephone. But then I heard my mobile ring. I was sitting on my mobile. Then I had a close look at my mobile. That was not the mobile. Then I answered my telephone. Hello. It was the Prime Minister of China. I said, hello, Prime Minister. What is it for you that you can't be here to call me now? Prime Minister of China wants to have a video conference. I said, okay, let's do it. We had a video conference in the Prime Minister of China, which told me that there is a small village that has a golden parrot. And I said, Prime Minister of China, I'm coming here now. So I hung up on him. And I booked my airplane ticket on the intercom. So I type it in. I couldn't believe it when I was sitting on the plane, first class, at the back. I was thinking to myself, I can't believe it. I am going to see the only living, surviving golden parrot. But then I realized something was very wrong when we landed in Johannesburg. So I got out of the plane and I ring it up to taxi company. I said, taxi company, can you please pick me up? He said, where are you? I said, right here. He said, where are you calling from? I said, I'm in Johannesburg. Can you pick me up? I need to go to China. He said, I'm coming to pick you up. So he came and picked me up. We're going to China. 6 months later, we arrive in China. I meet the Prime Minister of China in a real life. I shake his hand. I say, hello, Prime Minister of China, you all right? Oh, you all right? All right, yeah, that's good, yeah? Are you tired? Okay. The Prime Minister of China told me that there was a small village. The village was called Fepulea'i. I said, I can't believe it, Prime Minister of China. I'm going there tomorrow. Tomorrow became today. I remember standing outside the gates of Fepulea'i. It was like a clear thought in my memory. It was a cold winter night. I could feel the warm sun on my back. So I said, son, get down, go to school. I could see from a distance, there was an old man walking towards me. He was the hard chief of Fepulea'i. He came to greet me into the village. He spoke to me in his native tongue. He said to me, Sam,我当阳方贝尔人教出说的是这个错，是早说，手指牛干嘛出热情？什么还有人瞧？很开心，什么我去啊！That's when I knew Ding Su-Lao had a drinking problem. But he was speaking the ancient dialect that I was studying for the last 5 minutes. That is what gave me the confidence to speak to him in his native tongue. I said to him, Ding Su-Lao, sir, 苏和切想不穷或生要当说帮说帮本人让我，我当这样多心切，苏我苏嘿嘿苏苏苏，哦苏苏破苏嘿嘿嘿。
Give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Ding Su-Lao looked at me and he thought, he must be a bit tired after that one, am I? Ding Su-Lao said to me, Sam, I did not understand a single word you said. But he was still a kind old man. From a very small village of a population of only 1 billion people. He invited me to come to his house. When we walk into the village, he was like, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. When I walked into his house, it was a very small house. I walked inside, I was in the lounge. The kitchen, the bathroom, the every room. It was so small we have to sleep standing up. And we always ended up doing the hanging. But then I saw at the back of the house, which was about here, there was a curtain. And I could sense behind that curtain was the golden parrot. Or in Fepulea'i, they call it the Can you please say that to the audience? They would love to hear you try that. Boy, that was a very bad attempt. That was close. You said there was a dead carrot. So I said to Ding Sulau, can you please pull that curtain so I can see the golden parrot? Can you pull the curtain? Ding Sulau said, yes. I said, that's push. But right there before my eyes, I was face to beak with the only living golden parrot. But I noticed something very peculiar was happening. At the end of the claws of the golden parrot, there was a string tied at the end of each of the claws. At the end of each of the string that was tied at the end of each of the claws of the golden parrot, there was a tag, a red tag and a blue tag, tied at the end of each of the strings that was tied at the end of each of the claws. I said, what is this thing that you're doing to this thing? He said, if you pull the blue one, it will speak English. I was like, what? Because I had a cramp, I was like, oh. And what about the red one? He said, it will speak Sudayi. I can't believe it. But then I had a tricky question for him. I said, okay, you pull that one speak English, that one speaks Sudayi. What happens if you pull both the string at the same time? The golden parrot turned to me and he said, I will fall over you, stupid idiot. Wow.